Welcome to Riverbend Talon on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Also brought to you by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance, and loads of leprechauns this weekend hopping around, actually crawling around downtown Alton, because I'll have the shuttles out this weekend.
Is that what those are?
Yeah, there's a big pub crawl this weekend, Irish pub crawl.
I thought there was a convention for, little people.
Yeah, leprechaun.
I didn't, and they were just, leprechaun.
We celebrate it every Thursday night right here in downtown Alton, right, with the Sea Shanty Sing-Along from 6 to 9.
Irish Pub, man. Every Thursday, 6 o'clock, if you want to drink Irish whiskey and you want to sing songs, there's one place in this town to be. That's Morrison's.
That's for sure.
Sing your sea shanty. The Irish don't actually drink more than most. They just get more smiles per gallon. Yucca, yucca, yucca. All right.
Pretty green joke there.
That was a very green joke.
So, my name's Dennis. And Piggly, you look a little wiggly over there.
Piggly's wiggly.
You need to introduce our guest. I know you're excited.
Well, I had to take off my long sleeve shirt. I usually don't do that till 3 weeks into spring. It's getting hot in here. No, all right. We have the some ladies from the Sexy Circus, and the Sexy Circus is going to be performing at Third Chute this coming Saturday, the 12th, and there's no cover charge to see this. Now, what is a Sexy Circus?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'll tell you who's going to let us know about that. Miss Luna. Hello, Miss Luna. You're going to have to lean in a little more.
Hello.
I really want that.
I'm good at leaning into it.
And we got Sophie.
Hi there.
And Mona.
Hello.
Last name Lots. Mona Lots. And they are three of the ladies that are part of the Sexy Circus that is going to be at Third Chute on Saturday. Yes. They are going to inform us what a Sexy Circus is. But first,
we got to do something first before that.
We got to finish the Thursday,
trying to hold out
stuff because there's things going on, and some of it's maybe hasn't started yet, like the Sea Shanty Sing-Alongs, but it's getting ready to happen.
Oh yeah, it started 5 minutes ago.
Well, I'm saying that has, but like the Outsiders, they're going to be at Fast Eddie's Bon Air tonight, but they're not starting till 7. So if you want to see that, the beginning of it, you got 7 to 11 at the Bon Air with the Outsiders.
Right, and I wanted to mention before we got way into Thursday, this is a big one, I wanted to give congratulations to Dead Planet. They were voted. They were voted St. Louis's #1 punk band, and that's by the listeners from Beyond FM 24/7. So listeners voting for Dead Planet, who I call the first punk band of all time.
I don't know if they were the first punk band of all time, but they were the first punk band.
Everything started right here in the East Side.
Right.
St. Louis music scene, Bonnie Bill Sin, started on the East Side.
Well, that's where
punk
was
rock
at.
Started on the East Side.
I believe Johnny Johnson. Yeah, well, this is
he was hanging on the East Side.
That's what I'm saying.
And so was Mr. Barry.
Well,
see, I'm just saying.
We definitely know.
Bonnie said it straight.
If I'm going to trust many people about the history of rock and roll that live around this area, Bonnie Bramlett is the lady to trust because she lived it, starting at the age 15, going on the road with Ike Turner. She definitely knows where it was at. But you're right. They were probably the first punk band I ever saw for sure. Starting in like 83, 82, something like that. So
well
going way back.
Dead Planet. Darius Sprangler going to be at the Conservatory tonight in Alton. He does Dead Tunes, Big Ben.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I know you do. Open mic night at the Ragin Cajun. And here's something interesting from Shea, Maryland. This was posted on their site, so I thought I'd pass it along because we like to encourage a lot of bands listen to us, a lot of younger bands, and a lot of fans of bands. So what's going on in Shea, Maryland? Well, they're showcasing local talent on Thursday and Sunday nights. And if you're interested in showcasing your music, poetry, art, or just a place to practice your jokes, contact Snaps. Now, this is where I get socially retarded.
All right.
Social media-wise, because it means something, but I'm not sure.
It's
SNAPZ. Okay, so
it's an anagram.
Yeah,
I don't know for it. Yeah, it's beyond me, man. It's the newest thing. It's newer than Twitter or Instagram or whatever that. TikTok
so I was thinking,
I don't know.
After the show, we take the Sexy Circus down to Shea, Maryland's and crash it.
Sounds like a good time.
That actually sounds like an all right idea right there.
I've had a few.
So there you go. And then I could wax poetic while we were there.
Yeah,
no, not so much. I'm not. Poet, I am not.
Also going on, we could crash the open mic at Baker's and Hale too. We could really tear up the town tonight with open mics. And we got the Ragin' Cajun.
We go to Baker's and Hale. I'm gonna have to get some of that farm to table food while we're there. That's what that place is.
Yeah,
about. They got the open mic night going with Everhart and Light, and that's a good time. But if you're there, eat something, man. That food is delicious.
Yeah, and that wasn't paid for, by the way.
What wasn't?
What you just said. That was legit.
Oh, no,
I just want to pass it on. Now, Matt Van Voorhis, he's one of them guys that drops us a little cash so we can do this every week for the bands and stuff.
I give him as much cash to insure my stuff. No,
and so does Halpin Music. So we haven't said it in a long time, but please thank them.
Yeah,
They've
absolutely.
kept us going now almost 7 years, over 7 years.
It's been a long time that they've been paying us to come in here and jack around. So thanks to
That's for sure.
Thanks to Matt. Thanks to the people at Halpin. So
DJ Tony be jacking around down at Martin's Tunes and Eats in Wood River tonight. Nick Sturgis up at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville. Check this out. Jeremiah Johnson. Speaking of the blues, with Soulful Femme. Is that how you say it? I don't know how to say these fancy words.
And that's where? Oh, that's the Wildie.
That's
nice.
The Wildie, right?
And that's tonight.
7:30.
Excellent.
Kyle Fields right next door at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville from 6 to 9. Stacy Collins down in Pontoon Beach at Doit's. 10-String Dream in Collinsville at Old Harold Brewery. And then Shotgun Creek doing their Thursday night at the Silver Creek Saloon in Belleville.
That is what's happening on the east side this Thursday evening.
So
that's a lot of stuff. That's a decent Thursday.
You know, we talked about Jeremiah Johnson at the Wild E. You know what else is going on at the Wild E this weekend? It could be apocalyptic.
Could be apocalyptic.
Yeah. And you know what color was the fourth horse?
The first horse was white. The second horse was green.
Well, it depends on which.
And the fourth one was red. No, I don't know, man.
It depends on what you look at. But Aphrodite's Child said green.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Is that who's coming?
Well, no, we'll get back.
I was going to say Aphrodite's Child is going to be there. That's going to be amazing, man.
I can't get into it right now. We'll get into that
now
later.
You got me wanting to look through papers and look.
No, we're going to look at the sexy circus.
Okay, I'll look at that.
Yeah, I thought you'd be all right with that.
I'll put the papers down. Hello, ladies.
So how does this whole sexy sexy circus?
Sexy.
Say that 10 times.
I'm shaking in my shoes. My shoes fell off.
I'm shaking something under the counter, but don't talk about it. Anyway, all right.
How do you come up with this idea and then put it on a stage? Where does all this come from?
First, can we just say what is it? Because a lot of people are still out there in radio land going, what is it? And so first, let's before we say how the production or how it goes on, let's just say what is involved. If I show up Saturday night to third shoot and there's no cover, but I got a pocket full of money for tipping, right? So I'm set. What's going to happen? What am I going to see?
So essentially, we are a group of sexy weirdos, and we are all coming together to bring our talents and show people all the weird, awesome things that we can do in a really attractive and beautiful artistic way, and kind of showcasing everybody's like different abilities to come together to make a collectively super awesome show.
All right, and now we're gonna go a little deeper than that. That was a great cover explanation. Yeah, that was a great.
Artistic.
Yeah, that's what it says, like the one-liner at the page. But now let's get a little deeper. So Luna, we are speaking to Miss Luna. Luna, like what is one of your talents that you will be performing there?
So I am an aerialist and a fire spinner. So I do aerial silks and aerial sling, which is what I'll be doing there, which is, if you've ever seen like the ropes that hang from the sky, if you don't know what those are silks.
Like Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I do that, and then we're going to have a pole dancer there. His name's Orion, and he does flying pole, which is an aerial apparatus that's a pole that hangs from the ceiling, so it doesn't touch the ground at all, so it can move like all over. And then
I've seen those, and it's like that's. I mean, it's kind of like the silk or any of that. It's like
it's acrobat,
all
acrobatic.
Absolutely, but I always think they're going to fall off that pole eventually. Just like I think the silk's going to run out, and you're not going to yo-yo back up.
It takes a lot of practice. They put a lot of work into it. Oh my goodness.
So before we even move on from that, let me ask you about going back to your aerial act. We're talking third Chute in Alton. So, like, how do you fit, like, what kind of rig do you put in there? Like a lollipop rig? Like, what can you can only fit so much headspace inside of this building.
Yeah, so we were actually super fortunate. Wayne and Tommy actually installed aerial rigging in their venue just for us to continuously come back there and be able to do our thing there in like a safe and space efficient manner. And they also bought a suspension pole for on their stage. So we have aerial rigging and we have a steady pole that's in there.
That Wayne Draper, that Wayne Draper, you're not going to get nothing past that dude. He comes up with some great stuff. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Because I was curious about that. I'm like, so that's low head space. The rig has to fit under there. But you know what? I was trying to picture, and I was thinking like a lollipop rig would be about as good as you could get.
Especially
you have to be very spatially aware.
Yeah, absolutely.
She does some things where she just drops, and all of a sudden, I mean, you hear the whole audience just like gasp together because you think like 2 inches, and it's like done for.
Right.
But that's why she does what she does. She trains all the time. She's a professional.
Very nice. Okay, so we've got you doing some aerial with rigging there, and then the poles coming down for Orion to do his, and then what else have we got going on?
So we have another girl that's coming to do fire acts, and then we also have burlesque. So Mona's going to come in, and she's doing 2 circus-style burlesque acts, if she wants to tell you about those.
Oh, please, Mona.
Can you believe it? It's funny when burlesque performers are actually shy.
We're visual artists. We're not
vocal
talkers.
artists.
No, not at all.
You'd be surprised. It takes a lot less courage to take your clothes off than it does to feel like to get up in front and talk to people. You're like, you know what? Can I just get naked? Do I have to have this conversation?
I'm going to have to put this to the test. We're just going to see if I
mean, hey, do you feel more comfortable?
I only wear clothes for other people. It's a law, and it's for other people.
We need a lot more burlesque performers in the community. I don't know if you've considered it.
Why not? You considered everything else.
I mean, come check it out, and then, maybe.
I have considered everything. There's nothing I haven't considered in this world, except for I just started considering saying some words I probably shouldn't say to describe what it would look like if I was naked. That wouldn't be. Anyway, it's
that's
scary.
Part of the sexiness, though, is that all bodies are sexy. You know, we embrace that. Like, what we're going to do is embrace everyone in the audience that's coming is sexy. All the performers are sexy. That's part of it,
Okay, I'm not embarrassed by it, but it's not just laughable small. It's medically fascinating. It's just no. I'm just. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? Even so, that's fantastic too. I bet it's small, but it's fierce.
Anyway, this is more fun than I've had all day. This is great. So Mona, you now. You do burlesque now.
Circus burlesque.
Most of the burlesque shows I've seen, you just said you were shy, so I'm not going to force you to talk a lot. I'm just going to ask you some simple questions here. You say you're shy and that taking off your clothes is easier than talking, maybe. But most of the burlesque shows I've seen, they're telling jokes and they are still talking. Is there any vocalizing going on during your show?
Our show overall as a whole, there is a lot of talking, a lot of communication with the audience. We like to get them involved, have them participate in fun different things. My specific solos do not involve talking.
Okay.
Maybe a little wink to the audience, a little eye flirtation.
All right.
But actually vocalizing, maybe some guttural noises, but no actual words.
She's called Mona Lots for a reason. Yeah. Sometimes you need the quiet for that.
Great name for a band, Guttural Noise.
Yeah, it is.
That is a great band name. Wow. All right,
Probably taken.
If it's not, somebody's messing up out there. Anyway, okay, so I was just curious because when you said that you were like, oh, I don't want to talk, I'm a little shy. And that's, I know a lot of performers with stage fright. It's a weird thing to see. I think Bob Dylan has it. Every time I see him, the first couple songs, he seems weird, and then he gets into it.
I get probably a couple of shots in, you know. Like,
no, anyway.
Hopefully he's really weird.
The weirder the better, man. But that's why I was curious. It's like I understand that there are a lot of performers with some stage fright, but I was curious if there was any vocalization to your performance or if it was mainly just a visual act.
Usually the music's too loud.
That is true. Music is a big aspect of it.
All right.
The MC talks a lot and like makes jokes with the audience, but like in between the MC when it's like our 4-minute or however long solos, you know, it's usually just the music kind of blasting and us spinning around.
It's a variety show, if you will, you know. So like it's kind of just we take you through a little journey of doing different, you know, like the pull and then burlesque, and we're kind of, you know, we make sure that you're comfortable. And we'll talk you through it. Make sure, you know, you're especially knowing Tommy and Wayne being at Third Chute. By the way, Third Chute II, I will tell you, Miss Luna and I had the issue the first time. We didn't know there's 2 locations.
Yeah. Don't go to Grafton.
Yeah.
There's
we made
3
now.
There's 3,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's one right over the river in West Alton now.
See?
Also.
Well, it's one in Fosterburg.
Yes.
Third shoots. That's 33. That's some weird Illuminati
I know
stuff
it is.
going on. Wayne Draper probably knows a secret handshake.
There's 3
or
of us
something.
here.
Oh my God. And we just earlier we realized we all have green eyes, so you know.
Oh.
Green-eyed lady, ocean lady.
It's got to mean something.
It means something to me, right?
Got any adrenochrome? Just checking. Anyways,
just enough. So anyway, that was Sophie talking to us there. Now we've talked to Luna about she's going to do some fire spinning, some aerial.
Right. So hosted by is what the flyer says.
Mona Lotz is going to do some burlesque and some moaning, and Sophie. What will you be doing for us?
De Sade? Is that how you say it? I see the flyer.
It gets very much confusing. I wish I could take Sade's name.
Cool.
No, it's actually more like de Sade, like the Marquis de Sade.
Because you'd be a smooth operator.
I love, see...
Sorry.
No, again, if there was a name to
Great
get
song.
confused by, please and thank you.
I didn't even think of that song. I knew a
man, I love that
That's
song.
the one I usually go to. Smooth operator.
I went to the song French Horse. French Horse.
I mean,
what can I say about French Horse?
most people think of that song when they see me, so I understand the confusion.
Not you, unless you're French.
I mean,
Just wait.
right. So get to know me a little bit better on Saturday at Third Chute II.
Oh, this is fun. Usually I'm always trying to make the guests laugh, and I'm laughing today. This is great.
Yeah, so what's the difference between a host and an MC?
Honestly, pretty much same, 2 sides of the same coin. Okay. Really, just different names for the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, I think it depends on the type of show. With something more like burlesque or vaudeville, usually, I mean, we'll use the term NC, but I think a lot more often, especially, you know, when you think of like circus, you're thinking of like the host, someone who comes out more like the grand, in my case, I'm going to come out. Of course, this is my opportunity just to wear obnoxiously loud costumes, you know, things I've just kept in the closet and only could bring out on a special occasion.
So many feathers.
You know, oh my gosh, everywhere. Oh, goodness gracious, it's so obnoxious. They put up with so much.
It's the fluffiest bow I've ever seen.
The best, you know, Amazon can buy. What can I say?
The best Amazon can ship in 2 days.
Burlesque on a budget. What can I say? You know, I wish I had Dita's money. Someday. You know,
I just feel like
Scotch tape and a dream.
Just write burlesque on a budget down. That should be the name of your biography when you're.
Oh my gosh! I will tell you though. I feel like a lot of us could say that. That's sort of
on our tip jar.
Most people, well, and that's the big thing. People don't realize, you know, when it comes to like we're pretty old school burlesque and vaudeville. Like a lot of the costumes that you'll see, a lot of the performers made themselves or paid other performers to make them.
Yeah,
you know, like
everything.
It is hours of just painstaking rhinestoning on everything. Oh my goodness! So you know, so a lot of our not only our blood, sweat, and tears, but a lot of our tip money goes straight back into everything. And
into
you know,
bedazzling.
yeah,
into bedazzling.
Oh my goodness. honest. Those machines, now I'm kind of, I made fun of them back in the day, but now I could kill for one. Cut down the time. Ugh.
I could make a whole new costume in 20 minutes, man.
This jean jacket is perfect for emceeing on a Saturday night.
No, I'm glad you brought that up, though, because that's what this show's about. We like to expose, what artists go through to put on a show. I mean, a lot of people don't realize they just show up and see an amazing show and go, wow, that was amazing. But the work that goes
bands
into
and things, too, people don't get.
Rehearsals and rehearsals.
Sacrifices made.
Lots of emails back and forth, too.
Missing important events and, there's
promoting,
Absolutely.
Got to make sure we're getting people out, getting the word out, being here. So we're very grateful for that.
I tend to, when I go to a show, it doesn't matter whether it's a wrestling match or, it doesn't matter. I look at it with what I would call a producer's eye. What did it take to put this on, and how could it be better?
That's what I was thinking. From a production standpoint.
How much did it cost to do this? How do they do it, and how could you do it cheaply? And that's just the way and you're right. I don't think a lot of people even consider that when they walk in. But it's when you're wanting to put on shows, you always look at it that way.
But sometimes you want people to look at it and think it's seamless. If they look and we're like, oh my god, you want them to get lost up in all of what's going on.
They
on
make
stage
that
and
look
not
really
have to,
easy.
Yeah. When really, behind the scenes, it's like there are small fires everywhere. Someone's crying somewhere. Someone's bleeding.
Someone's crying somewhere.
2 people went to the wrong venue and just thought that we showed up, on the east side somewhere.
One of my good friends did that to me 2 years ago, Graham Pagano, a local musician, and there's 2 Camp Manitoas. And we were at the one in Benton, Illinois, and he went to the one like 2 hours south.
Oh no! I mean, I will say we were definitely hustling. I had on like a costume that had like balloons all over it. Like they were just looking at us at this place, like, "Are you guys
here?"
Like, yeah, we don't know at all about any show or anything, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. We promise we will be there. We didn't know there was another one. Our bad." And
this is Grafton, girls, not Brooklyn. No,
right. Oh my gosh.
Like, what are you guys doing here?
Hey, wait. Definitely bring tip money.
See, I would have given him. I would have been like, "You're at the wrong address," and just gave him my home address and been like,
"I
beat
could
him
just
there."
be here and like. I mean, we had all her fire apparatus, and I mean, we were ready to go. We were ready for. I will say they were very, receptive and very excited to see it. So had we stayed there, I feel like it would still have been a good time.
Oh, I'm sure they would have. I'm sure it would have. I get the feeling you girls could turn a bar into a good time pretty quick, especially if you have all your toys.
My toys. I was going to say toys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has it been a while since you guys did a show? I mean, because a lot of things got shut down for a while.
Well, us all together. So we all perform at different venues, and we're kind of long-term friend performers / collaborators. And so Third Chute, luckily, it's one of the places we do get to meet up together. And
they've been hosting us for like 2 years now.
Yeah, I almost want to say, has it been a year
since we performed?
Since everything, I know it was.
It was March of 2020 whenever they shut everything.
Yeah.
I did a visual artist thing for a Motley Crue cover band there a couple months ago.
Okay.
I went and did aerial for the band, and it was super cool.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Sweet.
So yeah,
the first time us coming together in a while, so we're really excited. We're definitely gonna party.
Weren't you telling me there's a club that is sort of your home base, Boom Boom or something like that?
Yeah, so Mona and I are full-time performers at the Boom Boom Room.
Boom Boom Room.
Yes, it's in downtown St. Louis on Wash Ave.
Okay, so
the largest burlesque club in the country now.
Wow. So like from KDHX towards the Fox, the other way, which part of it? That's Washington Avenue is a pretty big street.
Do you know where Rosalita's is?
No, I'm only familiar with the...
It's like in between Tucker and 14th on Wash Ave.
I know where that is, yeah. Excellent, all right.
Where the Jive and Whale used to be.
Where what would used to be there?
The Jive and Whale?
The Drive and Whale, I don't know.
Jive.
I don't really know. I go to KDHX every Tuesday, so I drive down Washington Avenue for that, and other than that, I have to go to the Fox. I'll go to shows. The Sheldon. I know where those play. I know where all the performing play.
The classy places.
The classy places.
symphony. I get it. You know, hey.
Usually I got
you need to come out to come out to our clubs and everything. Speaking of the Fox, my home venue is a place called the Crack Fox. So it sounds very glamorous.
We've heard of that.
I will say we're almost. I will say again, talk about two sides of the same coin. Like, what we do is kind of, these ladies are very classy. Like, they keep it very classy. They're like, gorgeous costume, beautiful venue, amazing food. We're that 3 a.m. bar that you're coming into and we're like, all right, well, we've had a couple of shots. We're going to take you for a good time now that it's midnight, and, we're going to take off some clothes, tell some jokes, and then do some karaoke. So, definitely that late night vibe.
So theirs was the Boom Boom Room. What was yours?
The Crack Fox.
Yeah. I thought you said the Crack Box.
I mean,
and I was like that is a unusual name.
I mean, even people, when you have the word crack in it, people, it gets your attention.
See, but same, anytime I tell someone that I work at the Boom Boom Room, if they've never heard of it, they're like, the Boom Boom Room?
Yeah.
But so we do we're like a dinner theater and a Las Vegas style show. So we do the group numbers. They're all choreographed, and we do group numbers with
There's
7 people.
There's no VIP room?
No, unfortunately not. We don't even accept tips on stage there. But yeah, Las Vegas style show. You can get like dinner for the first show. The late show is just the show without food, which is sometimes a good option. You don't always want to eat while you're looking at titties,
dinner. Yeah. This is the after-hour party, after-hour titties. Exactly.
The only time I really go to the Gentleman's Club on the east side is on Tuesdays, and it's for the buffet. No, I'm kidding.
$2 Tuesdays.
I know lots of other buffets you can go to.
I mean, hey.
I also like gas station sushi.
Yeah. You want to go over some Friday shows real quick?
We probably,
squeeze a few in there?
Yeah, we probably should. This time is flying by.
Lead us up to that Saturday performance at Third Chute. These girls will be putting on the Sexy Circus. But on Friday, the Downbads with backup singer.
The Downbads.
Right.
All right.
With backup singer.
All right.
8 p.m. Someone finally gives some props to the backup singer.
Finally.
Right?
I think that's someone's name. I think that's another person's name. I think that's, I don't know.
I don't know.
We do have, we got pianos going at the Ragin Cajun Piano Bar on Friday evening.
Whiskey Dixon at Fast Eddie's, Rogers and Nienhaus at Baker's and Hale, Flipside at the Moose and Wood River. Check this out.
All right. What do we got? Country singer Kyle from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
All right, and that's
at the back bar.
That's at the back bar. And I'm going to tell you something about the back bar. They make their drinks to get you drunk. That is a place you got to watch it, man. If you think you're just going to have a few and
have your Uber on call.
Enjoy. Thanks so much.
Right there in the parking lot of the Wild E. Theater,
absolutely,
right?
It's right. Yeah, it's right there in the behind the old lorries, and they make some tight drinks, tight like a tiger.
Around the corner, Midlife, 6 to 9 at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville, and around the corner again, Robert Perry Band, 5 to 8 at the Stagger Inn again in Edwardsville.
All right, and then we got the Midlife Duo, 6 p.m. That's going on at the Cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carbon. And then Mo Pleasure will be down at Granite City at Tegans Pub House, huh? It's a new one. I don't know.
Get ready to hear a lot about them. I've seen a lot of bands they're booking in there, so we'll be seeing Tegans Pub House in Granite City.
I'm happy to see a new venue going on, especially in Granite City. I believe they're going to have several new venues popping down there over the next year or two.
Patrick's is going to switch it up now. They're going disco DJ night at 6 p.m. That's they're both on Namioki Road right there.
Yeah.
So that's the old Eddie's. Patrick's in Granite City. Heartbreak Line. That's the guys from Beowulf, right? 8:30 to 12:30 at Doit's Village Inn on Friday night. John Evans up at Georgia's Local Brew in Jerseyville. Open mic with Steve Mellas at the Hawg Pit. Scott Marlin with Carrie Joe in Highland at the Unwind Lounge from 8 to 11. Blackie Starks Down and Dirty. That's the same. That's the same Down and Dirty. They just finally realized, you know what? Probably if we stuck something else on there, it'd make us easier to find.
And they thought Blackie Starks was what they'd go with. All right.
Well, it sounds more like a band than a porn site now.
Down and Dirty. Yeah. I Googled it a few times, and it didn't take me to this band. And it took me to places I ended up having to scrub my browser when it was over. Right. It was horrible. Now, all right, Blackie Starks Down and Dirty. That's going on at the Corner Keg in Highland tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening still.
Of course, Laney and Julie always busy. They'll be at Time Out Sports Bar in Troy on Friday, and Jonathan Baker at the Weingarten in Belleville on Friday.
Wow, look at this. We've got a downtown Alton St. Pat's pub crawl.
That's Saturday. And
oh, did I skip a page?
No, it got cut off there at the very bottom.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah, I was telling you about this when we started the show.
This looks like a good one.
Shuttles and stuff bouncing around town. It's like 3 stops. So the pub crawl starts at 11 a.m. until 7 on Saturday. And the downtown Alton shuttle stop will be at the intersection of Bell and West 3rd. That's Cat Daddy's, Firehouse, Max, Morrison's on that one, Ragin' Cajun, Bubby and Sissy's, and Tony's Steakhouse. All right there involved in that one.
Yeah, that's all. That's the first stop. That's all the places at the first stop. Yeah. Right? What's the second stop?
Upper State Street Shuttle. Stops at the intersection of Logan and State. That's right there by Johnson's Corner.
Right.
Slotty's. All right.
Yep. There you go.
And then the Broadway shuttle stop intersection of George and East Broadway, Bluff City Grill, and Brown Bag Bistro. And now we got some of the activities here that the clubs are putting on that we mentioned. Like our favorite Irish place, right? Morrison's Irish Pub.
Yeah.
They're just going to shut the street down for some shenanigans.
I like that.
Right?
It's not like weird Irish shenanigans.
Like we said, we do this St. Patrick's Day every weekend down there.
Yeah, they shut the street down regularly.
They've done it before, yeah.
I like the shenanigans. I declare shenanigans. Everyone go home and get a broomstick. No, I don't know what's going on.
Well, they'll have some Irish dancers down there on a Saturday.
Nice. Is that where they're like top stays still and their feet move crazy?
I think so.
Yeah, that's like, how do they keep their top so like perfectly still? It's interesting. I think they just Botox the top half of their body and then just go crazy.
We have the opposite problems. We're like, everything's just, shimmying everywhere. So.
Shimmy. All right, what else we got going?
Down at Shea, Maryland, second-hand cartoon starts at 12:30 for the pub crawl.
All right.
Morrison's is going to open early at 11 a.m. I mean, not Morrison's. The Conservatory is going to open early at 11 a.m. and they're just going to they're going to be blasting Irish music all day.
And serving up cold drinks.
Right, and jumping on the shuttle and taking a ride, right?
There you go. They're opening at 11 a.m. That's the perfect time to start the day.
Well, that's when it starts at 11 a.m. till 7, and then there's stuff going on like at Ragin' Cajun at 9 that night, right?
Right.
Those are the pianos. And then Money Shot's going to be at the sports bar at Bluff City Grill at 7:30. Screaming Eagles Jam Band will be at Chubby's in Alton. And then
Chubby's.
Fast Eddie's, they always got a couple bands. Matt Zeiss and Company and Whiskey Dixon on Saturday. And that brings us to the wonderful, sexy circus.
Back to the sexy circus. So we have members of the sexy circus here tonight. If you've just tuned in, I
wonder if they'll have the third chute bus out and rolling.
I think the third chute bus is rolling every weekend.
Okay.
It goes third chute to third chute. You can take it from Alton to Grafton to West Alton and back.
That is the best bar hopping. Like, just keep it in the family, Just go from. Well, I mean, now that they have 3 locations,
and I hope old Wayne Draper doesn't want to kick me for saying this, but you can easily go to the third chute in Alton, take their bus up to Grafton, hang out at their third chute, walk around to a few other bars, go back to the third chute, then get that drive back to Alton, where you're only a block from home to try and make it.
Sober up on the way, then get to the next place, or hey,
whatever you got to do, man.
Take a nap. Right, exactly. Boot and rally, and then you're ready for the next one.
I'm gonna sleep it off in the back of the bus. Wake me when we get there.
So those of us just tuning in, we have the Sexy Circus with us tonight. They're performing Saturday at the third chute, and we have Luna. She'll be performing. Also, the host, Sophie.
Hi there.
And Mona Lotz. Not also on the flyer, though. We got a couple other names. How about Zoplos? What can you tell us about that?
Zoe is a performer from Columbia, Missouri, and she's actually coming in town for the show. She does wand and hoop, so she's going to be doing LED hoop and a fire wand.
Wow.
It's going to be psychedelic.
Another fire performer.
It is going to be psychedelic.
And then how about
Orion?
It's
a psychedelic sexy circus.
Yes.
Lots of lights.
Orion does pole and flying pole.
that flying pole, that's just a good one, man.
It's so impressive.
I've seen that done before, and it's just like you're spinning around that pole and not falling off of it. And I mean, I get it that when the pole's going up, it's the same thing. You're spinning around, but it just looks different when it goes.
It's throwing off your balance, going side to side.
Well, it's been crazy. He's actually been on a retreat for a hot second. It was in Cancun, right?
And he was teaching pole in Cancun for the last 2 weeks.
And you could just see him on his story that he was like doing all these like posts and like really cool tricks, just like on the like street signs in the middle of the street, and everyone's just walking. I'm like, gosh, now, talented people.
If I didn't have the backstory of them saying what he did, man, I just heard him say he was teaching pole in Cancun for a week, I would have thought something different. I'm just going to say that.
Pole vaulting?
Exactly. You great minds think alike, and so do weird ones. So.
What else?
So Ryan will be doing some pole dancing for us. Which
pole vaulting at Third Chute.
They have the space, you know?
Yeah.
And then our burlesque performer is going to be doing a bearded woman routine to fit our circus theme and a third boob.
Have
you ever seen 3 boobs on one woman?
Only on Total Recall, and I very much was attracted to that look.
She's like, I think the most famous. I mean, there's always been different famous, I think, 3-boobed women throughout history. But like, if you're gonna think of somebody, I think she's my go-to.
The one on Total Recall is the one that most of us would know. I don't know her by name, but I remember watching that, and they're like, "Oh, what's with the third superfluous?" I'm like, "It's not superfluous."
Right. The more the merrier. Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I see purpose in everything.
Right. All bodies are beautiful.
Right. 2 hands, 1 mouth.
2 hands.
Right. I'm just saying.
Lots of options.
Triplets. I don't know. I'm trying to get. It's a family show, girls. Come on, clean it up. Clean it up. So have we missed any performers? Is that most?
That's
of the
all I had on my list.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I was
we
just
have
going
4
by the flyer.
artists, and then Sophie is our MC for the night. So we'll be doing
putting up with me, taking you through the show. You know.
Yeah. So the first half of the show, we'll do 4 solos, and then Sophie will do a little interaction with the audience in between those sets, and then we'll do another 4 solos. So the show will probably run like about an hour and a half, and it is a free cover, which is really cool because a lot of times we don't have the opportunity to put on shows where we don't have to charge for it.
That's awesome.
So great incentive to come see us and kind of see what it's about.
Yeah,
and since you don't have to pay to get in, you can just pay us.
This is like, we could call this, I would say this has at least been a year since we've all been together. And I think the traditional gift on the 1-year anniversary is paper. So, I would say that, if you just want to be honorable and bring, an appropriate anniversary gift to all of us.
And St. Patrick's Day weekend, so green is good for tipping.
Look at this theme. Green is good.
And all I had was frankincense and myrrh and a little gold I was going to put in.
Gold is fine.
Gold is also fine. Just don't throw it at us.
Ooh, yeah. He preferred to rain, not
St.
to hail on us.
St. Patrick's is gold, right?
Preferably.
Gold is leprechauns. It all ties in.
I am liking the sound.
How about your first gold tip ever? Wouldn't that be cool? Saturday night? How would you split that up? That'd be tough.
First gold tip I got.
Giant gold bar. I don't even.
The first gold tip I got was actually a trophy that was for being in 43 adult movies in one day, and it was. I don't know.
It's impressive.
Great time management.
Yeah, well, I'm quick. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Lots of hydration, snacks in between.
I'm not about quality, I guess. I don't know if it's quantity, all quantity, no quality. It's true. Right now, my wife is gone. My wife is on. She just left for California this morning, and I talked to her, and I said,
Jealous.
All I can say is when you get home, I want to make love to you badly. And she said, at least you don't overestimate yourself. So.
I
can do jokes, too.
Absolutely.
So there we go. This is going to be a lot of fun. If you don't have plans for Saturday evening, and you don't have any, and all you got is a pocket full of singles and you're wondering what to do with them, this is the place to go. If you got a pocket full of fives, you wonder what to do with them, this is also the place to go.
If you've always wanted to see people play with fire.
I get it, it's like bringing a small version of a sexy Cirque du Soleil, pronounce it correctly, fancy, right in front of you. Exactly. And again, all you have to do is bring your tips, bring money to, drink, bring money to get some great food.
Tip your servers.
Exactly. Again, the theme for the sexy circus is tips.
Okay. So, and I don't want everyone to think that these girls are just hung up on their tips.
Oh, no, not at all.
This is a free show, and I dare you to find a girl who doesn't love a good tip. I'm just...
And honestly, even if you came and you were like, I'm not going to tip them, once you saw what we did, I think it would be pretty hard not to.
Most people are compelled.
There you go.
And that's the thing, no pressure. Like, let us
it's hard
let
to
us
keep the
earn
joke
it.
Clean. That's what's happening.
Let us earn it.
Hey, it's after hours and it's a third shoot, so I don't think keeping things clean. If that was what you were hoping for, you hired the wrong girls.
I did not mean Saturday night at that time. I meant right here, right now. It's hard for me to keep what I'm thinking. It's hard for me to
still family time.
I told you, Piggly's wiggling tonight.
All right, so
he's squirming. Look at him.
Someone's got him.
He's got some things to say that we just can't say on radio.
I do not
Give him
express
props.
the proper.
He's working very hard.
I know. Self-control. That's another,
Well, when you keep using words like, well, we like the tips and it's really hard. I get it.
Low-hanging fruit.
It is a hard job and you're hoping to make a little money off of it. I know what you're saying, but there are other things boiling in the background that are funny to me. And
there are a few other things going on Saturday we can talk about to calm you down a little.
Yeah,
town criers turn you off a little. Turn you down, cool you off.
Town criers. I don't know who they are, but their name is already. Really their name is already making me go. No, I don't want to be there.
They're your favorite place to eat, though.
Bakers and Hale.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm gonna give me
7 to 11
burger with some bacon jam on it.
Yeah. Leadfoot going to be firing it up at the Beer Barrel in Godfrey.
All right, Leadfoot.
Right there at 9 o'clock.
Excellent.
Russo and Company at the Clifton Terrace in Godfrey at 8. And Cricket and the Grilled Avocados at Sunset Grill in Godfrey at 8 o'clock.
Here we go. Grandpa Gano, he's going to be
squirming
at LD's Barbecue in Glen Carbon.
And then he's going to turn around and go where?
He's going to come downtown now, and then he's going to go to Locke's Brick House in Bethalto. I was going to say, if he had any sense, he's going to head to Third Street when he's done there.
Well, he gets done at 11, so he can still make it.
Well, and Locke's Brick House is right down the road.
Right.
You'd be silly not to come, Stewie.
So he makes a big pay at the barbecue joint at 1 o'clock in Glen Carbon, and then to Locke's Brick House in Bethalto. Hicktown at the Refinery Bar in Wood River on Saturday. Cabin Fever at Martin Tunes and Eats in Wood River on Saturday. DJ Block at the Franchise at 10 o'clock. Walk On at the Pump House in Wood River at 9. Kevin Gruen up in Jerseyville at George's Local Brew from 7 to 10. Andrew Dahl from 3 to 7 at Grafton Winery. Jugs 50th Dash.
Is that the magazine? Because I get that magazine.
Yeah, I think it is.
You guys got the latest copy of Jugs?
It's a magazine sale.
That's Whiskey River. That's Kenny McPete.
Oh, yeah.
8 p.m. to midnight at the Bunkhouse Saloon in Bunker Hill. Corey Evans.
Hold on. Before you go past this, sometimes you've got some good inside information on this stuff. Do you know what the Jugs, who's Jugs?
No, I don't know. I just can never pass up a birthday mention in an ad.
I know. I
especially
love it.
Jugs.
Well,
it kind of fit the theme.
I'm trying to find.
You're saying don't say the tip, don't say this, but you guys just keep saying Jugs. Just trying.
Well, and I'm just trying
to hold back.
I don't know who Jugs is. I'm trying to picture. Is this a guy who carries a jug around with him all the time?
The 3 X's.
He could be a juggalo.
Or is this
could be a juggalo? He's 50. Can juggalos be 50 already?
I do whatever they want.
I don't make them feel.
I don't think they're allowed to live that old.
I don't know.
They do live pretty hard. I mean,
I don't think one's ever made it past 44.
Yeah. 33.
Living in that face paint.
If they make it to 44, they have to eat as much Adderall as they can and drive across country. Right.
Those 4 locos get to you.
Yeah, well, as long as the clowns don't get me, I'm fine. find the Jake. What else we got going?
Oh, out on Holiday Shores at the Foundry Boathouse. See? Got me going, right? I'm thinking of fire, right? I can think of is fire.
We went straight from the jugs to the butt house. I like it. I love it.
We can't stop.
The Foundry Boathouse.
Everything gets attention.
Foundry Boathouse in Holiday Shores in Edwardsville. That's Corey Abbott's 1 to 4. And I mentioned the Apocalypse.
Oh, here we go.
At the Wildy Theater.
Oh, the Four Horsemen.
Right.
Okay, there we go.
Metallica tribute band.
Okay. I was thinking Aphrodite's Child like you. That would have been, I like it all. So there you go.
Right. You think they'll do
the Four Horsemen ride?
You think they'll do Whiskey in a Jar?
I can only hope that they would do that. I wouldn't know many of the newer ones. I would hope they would mainly just do stuff off like Ride the Lightning and like Kill 'Em All and you know, that would be the stuff I would dig.
Yeah, but Whiskey in a Jar. That's
Whiskey in a Jar.
Irish tune.
It is. I would suppose they would do that one on.
You know what that song's about, right?
It's about giving your old daddy-o a whack,
yeah,
taking his money, taking his whiskey.
It's about Irish highwaymen, right? They would rob royalty.
Ah.
Yeah, some of them went more into robbing whatever and raping whatever. But this particular guy robbed a bunch of royalty, got thrown in jail, escaped, and then his girlfriend ditched him. Molly. His girlfriend
I like Molly.
Yeah. So awesome. That's what it's about. I didn't know if you knew that.
Very Irish.
You know, well, Jerry Garcia did that song.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I
was going to say the Dead did it better.
Yeah,
I
different words too.
I hate to call out old Lazy Lester, but I saw him do it a while back, and we got in a conversation about who wrote the song, and he's like, "Thin Lizzy," and I'm like,
"Nope." It's actually 17th century.
I think the song's a little older than this country, but Thin Lizzy's great. They got a good version.
It was written during that time frame where this whacking was going on.
Now we're
for whiskey, I guess. I don't know.
Hard tips and jugs and butt houses and now whacking. We just keep on moving on.
We do.
All right, let's go from that story about Molly to Crystal Lady, if there's a difference. Crystal Lady will be at the back bar on Saturday, I guess, at 9 p.m. And I have yet to see Crystal Lady, but Jimmy G is the one who was let me know about them, and he's if Jimmy G tells me that a band is good, I'm expecting them to be pretty darn good. So if you're in the Edwardsville area, check out some Crystal Lady this Saturday.
Right. Strangers Do It, Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. Laney and Julie at the Foundry Public House, right there next to it, 2 to 5. Little known fact, right around the corner at Stagger Inn in Edwardsville. Mike Sonderregger, 6 o'clock at the cabin at Judy Creek.
There's a lot of G's and R's in that.
It's a real mouthful.
That's a lot of G's and R's.
You got to be careful with that one.
Oh, hey, and then guess what else is happening?
Double
more of Blackie Starks down and dirty.
This time at
Tegans. There you go. And man, I'm interested in Tegans Pub.
Scott and Michelle, 6 to 9 at Javia's place in Granite City.
That's another new one down in Granite. I told you, Granite City's going to be popping with some new venues here.
For real. Like Hooch and 16 or Flipside's playing at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Beowulf at Doit's Village Inn, 8:30 to 12:30.
That is a party.
They're not even having a pub crawl there. That's just Saturday night.
Doit's Village Inn does. Oh, you talking about Granite City?
Yeah.
Granite City. Yeah, they should have a pub crawl. As many places they got popping now. They had the bus going on for their Mardi Gras parade, which I talked to the mayor the Monday afterwards, Mr. Mayor there, and he said it went off like gangbusters for the first time. So I'm happy to hear they got their first ever Mardi Gras parade up and running there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In Collinsville, Dale Papp at 2 o'clock at Hoodats. And check this out. Crocodile Kings rented out the Miners Theater. And they're going to be performing their original music at 7:30 at the Miners Theater, only $10.
Now that theater's been there. That's an old theater. That's been there a long time. I didn't even realize that was still.
I'm pretty sure they wrote "Whiskey in a Jar" there. That's where they wrote that song.
They did.
Pretty sure. After the jailbreak.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so
Scott Marlin at the Red Bar in Collinsville, and then Cherry Bomb at Corner Keg in Highland. 10th anniversary at Wild Pickens with Miles Station in Chesterfield.
Excellent.
And Track Band at Bezerman Super Bowl in Gillespie. What do you think that is?
I when I think of a Super Bowl, I think of a really big bowl.
Yeah,
I was thinking.
Blaze
Finally.
down. But
after legalization, they got a club that does that. Finally.
Is that what that is?
No,
that
it's
that
not.
would be,
Sorry. It's a bowling alley.
We were all about to leave right now.
That's what I'm saying, man. Somebody's...
I've already got a problem with getting happy because I did too much X in the 90s and my serotonin's low. You're going to bum me out like that.
Yeah.
Tell me there's something like that and take it away.
Yeah,
all right. Well,
you can go
that's
bowling
fine.
still if you want.
I go
Check
bowling
out
every
the Trag
day.
Man. And,
yeah, there you go. And that's in Gillespie, so that's that's a little bit of a drive out, but Gillespie's got some happening spots up there.
Well,
who's my buddy up there that plays? God dang, he's a great player up there.
That guy is?
Yeah, my brain's
God
going.
dang.
My brain's going
Fiddle
swampy.
player?
Yeah,
You play a fiddle against the devil once?
He did, man. All right, my brain's down to nothing but 2 brain cells fighting, and I can barely do anything other than
Speaking
cuss.
of 2,
So
Rogers and Nienhaus.
there
How's
you
that?
go. Roger,
Okay,
that's
is that
quite a pair.
All right. Benny on Main and Belbo. That wraps up our Saturday.
So Rogers and Nienhaus, that's 2 people that will be playing. But let me ask you this: you know how many guitars they're going to have at that show?
Oh, man.
20,
It's hard
30.
telling how many Scott's going to bring.
He drives a van full of guitars to every show, and and each one is individual. Weird, but those guys, they're hella pickers, man.
Super.
Hella pickers. So there you go. That is your Saturday evening for your East Side activities, and one of those activities that we will mention again is the Sexy Circus. If you have nothing to do this Saturday yet, or maybe you've got something to do but you're just not sure about it, take another thought about this. This is the Sexy Circus.
Is there nothing to do around here this weekend?
There is nothing to do around.
Like it is hopping.
Nothing to do.
Yeah, you know what? It's spring.
This is
And it just gets
Should I
better
say
all
that?
summer, man.
Yeah.
We've been doing this 7 years now, and we're blown away what we find and what's going on. And we finally figured out that we all live in our own little circles, and they very seldom cross over. But you start looking at the big picture, you're like, wow, why doesn't anyone say they're bored around here? And why do people say there's no places to play? And why do people say,
we spent 7 years trying to take all these little circles and make like an Olympic symbol out of them, make them overlap a little bit. And it's neat seeing like the young kids and old guys getting to play together. And
variety of stuff to do.
Variety.
We got art, we got dancing, we got live performances with music and... wrestling. Don't forget wrestling.
Comedy.
Yeah.
There's all, burlesque.
Yes.
Roller derby.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hats off to the roller derby girls.
Absolutely.
Dang
Bowling.
right, man.
Bowling, yes. They're bowling.
I can bowl while I do all that stuff.
Moonlight bowling.
Oh, that's impressive. Multitasking.
Yeah.
It's true. So, you girls are getting started at what time down at Third Chute?
9 o'clock.
After
9
hours.
p.m. It's the late show.
So plenty of time to do something Saturday. Get you some corned beef and cabbage.
Right, go do the pop
roll there.
go do all that stuff.
Get some more food.
Exactly. Have
Being
some
over
food.
by 11, you could still
Yeah,
go do
you
something after, too.
You can chase
catch
a
a nap.
rainbow all the way to the end, find that pot of gold, and bring it on down to Third Chute. And,
Ready for the second wind, and we will
There
take
you
care
go.
of you for sure.
Porkyville. Right? Porkyville.
Forkyville, there you
For
go.
the old timers.
Go right up to Pie Town and hang a right. So there you go, and that's that is, like you say, it's the late show, and anybody who like can remember back to the days of the circus shows and the side shows, the late shows were always, the dancing got a little hotter, the songs got a little better, everything got a little hotter.
People got into that moonshine. That
Suddenly the duck walk was happening long before Chuck Berry ever did it. He just went to a sideshow and saw that happen. And it's I tell you,
innovators.
One of the side shows I've been to, and it freaked me out because like it wasn't, you never know what you're going to see, right? It's anything's fair.
Absolutely.
And this was one I never heard of. They were the Bindlestiff family, and they were from the out east, I believe, or something.
Okay.
And they were coming across, and it was a big festival, and they had a circus off to the side. And when we walked in, everyone's sitting crisscross applesauce. And I noticed a slack rope that's barely over our heads. I'm like, oh, someone's going to, slack rope over us. They not only did that, the dude juggled machetes while he was slack roping over people sitting crisscross applesauce. And I'm going,
that is trust. That's a lot of trust.
One mistake, and this whole weekend is ruined, man.
How does
insurance?
Right? How does one discover? Like that's the big thing with sideshows. How do you discover that this is a talent that you have?
Got to be able to eat weird stuff.
So real quick, we're going to go back to the eating weird stuff. Right before the show started, we were discussing that, and I told you about accidentally staggering into the Jim Rose back show, and when we were discussing Mr. Ingesto, who takes like coffee grounds and eggshells and ketchup and puts it in a big syringe and then puts the tube down his pipe, ingests it, sucks it back out, flops around like he's drunk for like 2 minutes, and that's his show.
Right.
I got a chance to ask him how he came up with that. I'm like, now how do you come up with such a thing? And he said, just screwing around at home. Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah. What kind of screwing around? Like, I do some pretty heavy screwing around, right?
What makes you think that, like, maybe this could be something? Like, I don't have enough room in my trash cans at the moment, so what else can I do with this?
Yes, right. There are certain things when I watch them, I go, how did you get started? Like, what made you do, either like with Mr. Ingesto, what would physically make you want to do that? Or like the first time I saw people like jumping trucks where they're doing backflips, like how many trucks did you wreck when you never got the first one right? Like what makes you decide I'm gonna flip a truck? Like I got millions of dollars to burn and just keep buying trucks. I don't get it. I wish I did. I sit in awe of all these people.
So lots of work goes into performing.
Well, the performers in the show are kind of the same way. I mean, do it all like fire performing, and silk and burlesque. I mean,
you don't spend 10 minutes playing with fire and go, I'm going to do this live this weekend.
I do. I did my first chainsaw carving on mushrooms naked. It didn't matter.
It was great.
Like I had that much trouble.
That's how people discover things right there.
See?
True story, man.
Just make sure you bring the mushrooms.
I say Scouts I was a scout for one day, got kicked out for eating a brown.
So you still were a scout?
Well, I'm scouting all the time. Scouting for the next adventure in life. So there, it is.
And it's free.
So real quick, because the show's
sexy circus.
Sexy. So real quick before the show ends, we're going to top this little conversation about how things get started off with the question: what made you decide to do aerial? What made you go, I'm going to do aerial? Did you see someone or?
So I actually started before I did aerial. I started as just like a hooper, and then after I hooped for a few years, I started doing fire hoop, and I've been hooping for about 10 years now. And I went to my first festival, and I saw people doing it, and I was like, wow, that looks so fun. They just get to wiggle their body all weird while they have something that looks amazing while they're doing it. And I was like, I want to do that, and starting to do it was such a journey that I never expected myself to be taken on.
Okay, so next question, part B to that question. You decide you want to do this because you see it at a festival, right? Who do you call that and go, hey man, have you got an aerial rig, or could you build me like a little lollipop rig? Like how do you who had the silk and stuff? Who showed you your first move so you didn't splat the first time?
I took classes with Ashley Mendoza with Ashley's aerialist for about 4 years.
Mendoza, where was that, out of St. Louis?
Yeah, she's in Lake St. Louis at a gym called High Energy.
And Spanish, I would imagine. Spanish lady?
Her husband's Peruvian.
There we go. I know Javier Mendoza is an excellent musician out of St. Louis that's just an amazing Spanish guitar player.
There's multiple aerial gyms around St. Louis, though.
Nice.
Yeah, Bummer Chute's there, and then they have Circus Harmony, which is at the City Museum, and they teach contortion classes, lyra, hand balancing, silks.
I practice contortion on my own.
If you look for it, you can find it.
They call it physical therapy. It's the same thing. Whatever.
I mean,
it's all the same.
Do you want to be in the show?
He does.
Again,
he does.
You're finally catching all the flags I've been doing. You finally get my hints.
It's happened before. We got into a wrestling match. From same question.
We got into a TV show or a movie one time.
Yeah, we got into a movie.
I don't even know how it happened.
Movie broke out, and we were asked to join in.
Hey, it could happen.
Yeah.
15 minutes, right? Like I said, we're always looking, especially people think like, look, pole, sometimes like aerial silks, even burlesque, that's, more of a woman's thing, but oh no, like we got Orion, we're always looking for,
that's
right. Oh my goodness, he will show you, and it's not just for women,
I'm going to loosen the belt of Orion.
Or is Orion going to loosen the belt of you?
Yeah, probably.
Either way, things are getting hot in here.
You have not seen Orion yet.
I have not. I not see him. Yeah, he will probably punch me with his third fist.
With his abs.
I don't.
See, he could,
with
but
his
he's
abs.
the sweetest person in the whole world. So you're just lucky that he's more of a lover than a fighter. Oh yes, because I'm pretty sure he could just probably snap anybody in half with those thighs. Oof. Yeah. Sorry.
Hang on the side of poles and stuff. I mean, serious abs.
I believe she speaks from experience.
Well, sometimes we all have to stretch back. So, you saw that there's backstage rituals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got a tight hammy.
Illuminati.
Is that a euphemism? I don't even know. I'd give you a warm welcome, but that's a euphemism for a thing I invented it myself.
Is that what they're calling it?
I don't know. All right. Well, these are a few of the cast members and the ladies from the Sexy Circus. They are going to be at Third Chute in Alton Saturday night starting at 9 p.m. This is a free show, so you're going to want to get down and check this out. And,
and keep in mind, St. Patrick's Day isn't until next Thursday. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty more St. Patrick's Day celebrations next weekend.
I suggest you start this Saturday and party all the way through till Thursday.
Well, you start tonight. If you're not at the Sea Shanty Sing-Along right now, you're slacking.
You're missing out.
But thanks for tuning in to us.
I guess we're slacking, aren't we? Listen,
they're in their cars just ready to go in.
Aren't we going to crash some of these places like Shea Maryland's tonight and Ragin Cajun and go out to Baker's? Remember that whole open mic thing?
Anyway. I am open to see.
We didn't even get to Sunday.
Do we still got some Sundays?
No, it's all good. I mean, if you want to go over a little, we always do.
If you want to know what's happening Sunday, just go to the website cottonmouth.org.
Even though your buddy Matt Tall's playing.
Oh wait, well, okay, now we got to do it.
No, you got to be fair to everybody. And your buddy Jay Hollinger.
See. You start talking about how people are playing that I know, and we got to do it. So if you
my buddy's down at Martin's Tunes and Eats doing the open mic.
Let's start at the top and say if you want to hear some music or even get yourself a Chubby burger, head down to Chubby's on Sunday 2 to 6 p.m. Catch the Brick House Blues. Also Anthony Nanny and Company 1 to 5, and then Jake and the Truckers 6 to 10. That's at the Bone Air. Here it is. Matt Toll and Jay Hollinger. They're going to be at Roper's Regal Beagle. That's going to be 3 to 7. And they're probably going to be over there right in the outside bar area. There's heaters going on. If it is a little chilly in the evening, that's a great place to see a nice little outdoor show. We got Lively. I say lively up yourself, man. Lively up yourself. That's going on 7. I'm sorry, to everybody in the radio audience, I'm so sorry. I forget what I'm doing here. The band called Lively's going on 5 to 7:30 at Baker's in Hale and Godfrey. Then we got an open mic night with the Shell Shack Band. That's happening at Martin's Tunes and Eats down in Wood River.
Yeah.
What is this CHWA?
That is the Cottage Hills Wrestling Alliance. It is every Sunday. They do a weekly show, 3 p.m., $10 for adults, $5 for children. That's at 127 West MacArthur in Cottage Hills and Pigpen. We talked about this place with some of the wrestlers. This started in a backyard.
Yeah, I was going to say we've had other
underground wrestling that has built their own place now and has a weekly YouTube show.
Yeah,
and has built to the point to where they are every Sunday now putting on a show, and all the other wrestling alliances are like, "Wow, check these guys out." Man,
they're for
that's hard work.
It is
all for free.
It's like watching a backyard festival go big, man. These guys are doing it, and we just had. I was trying to think who it was. It was the WPW on or whatever, and they're like
Beckham.
They're heavy. Yeah, Beckham. They're heavyweight champion guy.
Beckham
kept talking about the Cottage Hill stuff. So
and that's who I'm going to have in for an interview on the 17th. By the way, to talk to the Godfather of Cottage Hills Wrestling.
All right, the Godfather of Cottage. Do I have to kiss his ring?
You might.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Overhead Dog 1 to 5 at Grafton Winery on Sunday. Open mic with Butch Moore 6 to 10 at the Stagger Inn. Dave Horton at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. Dana Anderson at the Cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon at 2. Skylark Brothers duo at Edley's Barbecue 2 o'clock in Glen Carbon. Nice. And I guess they're going to be playing maybe 2 gigs. We'll have to check into that. I think they changed their Doit's Village Inn gig, actually. So we'll skip that one. And then Graham Pagano, 6 to 10 at Wild Pickens in Chesterfield. And the Rollins Brothers, 2 o'clock at Copper Fire in Belleville. And you know what, Pigpen, I was thinking, I think Matt Tall mentioned when he was in here that his nephew is Ian Tall that plays piano sometimes down at the Ragin' Cajun. So I was thinking, those two ought to start a band together called the Tall Boys.
Well, then there's
That'd be a good name for a band for them, right?
Well, the band Hive Mind, we sort of mocked them and told them that was a dumb name because there's so many things called Hive Mind, and they changed their name to something. I don't remember what it was, but
Too Tall. We could change it to Too Tall.
I was going to say, I think it's his nephew or something that heads that band up.
Well, I'm more into his cousin Jethro.
Red or I
remember his cousin Jethro. Tall. You don't?
Yes, I do. He plays a good flute. Yeah, Ian Anderson, man. I actually love Ian Anderson.
They can make a movie about him.
Jethro Tull fan.
They can make a movie about him walking tall. They should call it.
Boom. Hey, I would suggest get out and say see Matt and Jay. I guarantee that's going to be a good show. Those cats got some good stuff going on. So hey, that is everything that's happening, and we're already cutting way over into the whoever's on behind us. It was a
we needed to. We missed like 3
know.
different shows this year because of ice.
Baby.
Yeah, these roads get really slick out here on the brick.
This girl gets it. You pick it up when I'm laying down, man.
Smelling what you're stepping in.
All right,
I'm Rick James. Anyhow. That's
freak.
it. Let's wrap up this sexy circus.
All right, so there you go. Thanks again to our guests.
Crash some open mics.
We got Luna, Sophie, and Mona lots. Thanks so much, lovely ladies, for coming down this evening and being on the show with us. I apologize for anything I may have said or did.
Well, then ditto.
You've all signed releases. You can't sue me. No, I don't think that's true.
No, we had a lovely time. Thank you for having us.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Everybody remember Third Chute in Alton this Saturday night. You can check out the Sexy Circus for free. I would advise you to do that. And if you're not going to do that, then you're definitely...
Let's thank our sponsors one more time.
We're going to thank Halpin Music for all the great musical instruments they've given us, great knowledge that they not given but sold us. I just bought new bass.
That was Jody.
Well,
that's another story.
All the great knowledge coming out of there. The great teachers there. So,
remember that guy?
I know.
Really.
I know 7 guys, and they don't give me stuff; they sell me stuff. Either way, it all works out. A couple of girls too. Thanks to Halpin Music for supplying the community with so many musical instruments and paying for us to come in here and jack around on the radio. Big thanks to Matt Van Borst. Everybody, go to Halpin, buy an expensive guitar, call Matt up, have him insure that guitar, and we'll be on for like another year. This will be great. So please take advantage of our sponsors and use their services. And definitely, if you aren't going to go see the Sexy Circus, get out and support local music and art.
Yes.